Number 18, which of the following statements is true? A, to shift a graph 2 units to the left, add 2 to all of the x values and leave the y values unchanged. So the important thing to understand with this question is that when it talks about adding to the x values, remember if we've got our function f of x here, to add to the x values, we mean add inside the parentheses. And to add to the y values means to add outside the parentheses. And remember that adding inside the parentheses shifts it horizontally, left and right. Adding outside the parentheses shifts it up and down. And the horizontal shifts go the opposite direction of what you would expect. The vertical shifts go the way that you would expect. So on this one, for A, it says to shift a graph 2 units to the left, add 2 to the x values, and leave the y values unchanged. So we're adding 2 inside the parentheses. That is going to shift the graph 2 units to the left. So A is true. And A is the answer. But let's go ahead and look at the other 4, or the other 3. B says to shift a graph 3 units to the right, multiply all the y values by 3. That would be multiplying this whole thing by 3. That's not going to shift it. That's going to stretch it vertically by a factor of 3. C says to shift a graph to the right 3 units, then down 4. Add 3 to the x values and add 4 to the y values. So we're going to add 3 inside the parentheses, add 4 outside the parentheses. That's going to shift this graph. By adding 3, we're going to shift it to the left, and by adding 4 outside the parentheses, we're going to shift it up. So C is not true. And D says to shift a graph to the left 7 units and up 5 units. Subtract 7 from the x values. So we're subtracting 7 inside the parentheses and adding outside the parentheses. This is going to shift to the right 7 and up 5. So so D is also incorrect. So the correct answer for number 18 is A.